So yeah, dribble and drive. We got what we wanted.
Yes,
Timberwolves
sir.
Thunder. Absolute cinema.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like Denver definitely would have been a bad matchup, but this is what we wanted. Like the best team all season.
So you
And
think you think Denver would have given Minnesota a good battle?
I think so, but I think OKC is definitely the better team. We saw them like win those games by like 30, 40 points, like two of them. So, I don't know. I think like OKC at home too, like I feel like home court doesn't matter much, but for OKC, I feel like they play like, awesome at home every time.
Yeah, dude. I mean, wear the shirt. Everybody was wearing the shirt. You can't get a building to do that, I mean, I like it. I like the strategy they use. Like, show them on the Jumbotron. Why not? I mean, you see it works. The energy. Who doesn't like watching
Yeah,
a game like that? Like
even
it.
like the Pacers are kind of similar in that fashion too. Like
Mm-hmm.
small market, everybody's wearing the shirts, like everybody's just bought in. So
Right. Passionate fan bases. It reminds me of when the Winnipeg Jets were a new NHL team. The Winnipeg Whiteouts for those playoff games. And
yeah,
I mean, that was insane. Like, who doesn't like seeing that?
yeah,
Free shirt, memories. Like, come on. I mean,
yeah.
it energizes the team with the home crowd. It's taking home court advantage to a new level. Why wouldn't you want to do that for your team?
No, exactly.
Like, can
And
you imagine? Can you imagine if we had the TD Garden all greened out?
I know, but everybody's always wearing jerseys. Even when I go, I just wear my jersey.
Which
I mean,
is like, yeah. I
I'm
mean,
one of the biggest offenders.
but it makes sense. I mean, but because we're not being told to, we're not. It's not being promoted.
Dude, when I went to that game five versus the Knicks, dude, they didn't even have anything on the seats. Not even a towel, not even a poster. Like, it was kind of
What?
pathetic, bro.
I don't like that. Whenever I go to a playoff game, there's usually something, a towel, a shirt, usually a shirt. Um,
Oh.
but come on. I mean, where's the Celtic pride? But yeah, I'm surprised that OKC is opening this series as a minus 375 favorite. Minnesota's plus 275. I think that's insane the way Julius Randle has been playing. After the playoff run he's had, he might be the third best player in this series. I mean, can part of his success be attributed to the easy first round and second round matchups, some may call it, with Curry getting injured, them not having really a big. Butler was a favorable matchup for him, and then the Lakers were small. Sure. But like at the same time, the Wolves were dangerously good in the second half of the season when Randall played, and we were kind of on them. Considering he missed all February, here's the stat. Since January 1st, 2025, the turn of the calendar year, the Wolves are 27 and 10 when Julius Randle plays and 5 and 8 when he doesn't. That 27 and 10 record on an 82 game pace would be 60 and 22 in a full season. That would be good enough for the second seed in the West, only behind OKC, and third in the entire league, only behind OKC and Cleveland, ahead of Boston. Like that's a really, really good team Minnesota is.
Yeah. And like they split the regular season with OKC. So I mean like this should be a probably a 6 game series at least, I think. Um
At least.
I feel like Minnesota, maybe they'll drop one and get blown out. I feel like they have that potential to get blown out one night, but they can bounce back from that. They've shown they can. So I think it's really a toss up. I mean, I think it comes down to just who between Ant and SGA plays better. Obviously, that's like a very simplified version, but I mean, if the OKC and Minnesota are probably the two deepest teams in the West, so like so many guys can affect that series.
Right. And Minnesota has the size to match up with Oklahoma City too. They got three bigs, Reed, Randall, Gobert, and Randall, as we've talked about, has made his impact. He's been the second best player as they've needed him to be in this playoff run. And I think this series is going to come down to how clean can Minnesota play because OKC, they turned the ball over. I mean, tonight the game was not over at halftime, but for the most part it was. You could see where the game was going. The
Yeah.
turnover margin was 12-3 at halftime. Denver turned it over 12 times, and OKC got 12 points off those turnovers. Denver had zero off of OKC's three. And Randall, we know he can get a little bit messy sometimes. We know he can turn the ball over. If he doesn't do that, they're tough to beat. But if OKC can, have him turn over 5 or 6 times a game and have a few other good turnovers and turn those into points, I'm taking OKC. But if Randall can really clean it up, which he has so far, why can't Minnesota win the series. I think they really can. I was leaning Minnesota in 6 or 7. Um, I feel like OKC is like the Minnesota of last year. Minnesota, they got through the playoffs. They got to the third round and then they ran into some more experience. Some
Yeah.
high-end talent with a lot of experience. I feel like that's what Minnesota is this year. And I feel like OKC is more like Minnesota, where they haven't been through it. And I feel like OKC is going to be the team next year. But I feel like this is Minnesota's year.
Yeah, I definitely can't argue with that. Like with that. Like they learned last year and then they're gonna bounce back this year. Definitely agree with that. I mean, I don't know, like yeah, I just think it comes down to Randall in this series. Like how effective can he be? Because if the Thunder are starting Chet and Hardenstein in the front court, that means he's probably going against Chet. And then like Chet like is definitely like a bigger body. He might be able to size him up and bully him, but also like Chet's gonna get the benefit of the doubt just reaching over him sometimes. So like I think like Naz Reid will play a ton in this series based when like Chet's in because like he's a great matchup against Chet. Like size wise, he can stay with him. So I think like Nas is gonna step up big and if they want to win the series.
Absolutely. Reed can shoot the three like anybody in the league at his size. He can take him out. He can because the way the Wolves or the way the Nuggets had it, it's like Chet's gonna have to guard Gordon. He can space off of that and he can help inside on Jokic. They're not gonna have that same advantage.
Yeah.
Because Reed can, like you said, Reed, he goes on the floor, he can bring Chet all the way out, and then Ant can get inside, and Hartenstein's still gonna be there, but hey, maybe you run Randall and Reed. We've seen that work.
Yeah.
I like Minnesota's chances, but I will say none of the things I've said so far means that Minnesota is going to win the series. It's just kind of how I'm leaning.
Yeah.
Obviously OKC opened as the heavy favorite. I think it's way too heavy.
But like back to the game, I think like OKC definitely needs more J-Dub
They
this
got it
series.
tonight, but I mean, he shot like 33% from 36% from the field all season, all series.
Yeah. So he was definitely struggling. So like I don't know.
This brings me to another point. I think this was such a big win for the Thunder because if they came out and played like say they did in game 7, like they did in say game 6, and they lost this game 7, who knows what happens? I mean, I think Chet stays. I don't think he go anywhere. The potential that dude has and how he's played this playoffs, he's been really good. Better than I expected actually.
Yeah.
But what about J-Dub? Like even if not J-Dub, definitely Dort, probably Wallace, at least Wiggins or Joe. A few guys are going to get moved. I mean, but instead, J-Dub bounces back, has a huge game, 17 points in that second quarter where they effectively won the game. Case and Wallace, after starting out looking iffy, he didn't look too confident, passing up on shots. In that early in that first quarter, he really stepped up. In that second quarter, he had multiple oops that he threw up to Chet. Um, he made a few other impact plays, a steal, a bucket in transition. He stepped up.
Yeah, another good game from Caruso too.
Dude, oh, and I mean the stat line says he did good. What do you have? Like 11 and 3, 3 steals.
Yeah.
Like it says he did good, but he did so much more than that. I mean, his hands, his toughness, his IQ, he was guarding Jokic. I mean, like
Yeah. So I
he knocked down a three against the zone when they really needed it. He knocked down the first three of the game. Man, like Caruso.
yeah. I don't know. In this series, just like going with like how the regular season went, I think I'm gonna take OKC in like 7, but I think it's just because Minnesota's offense at times can be a little bit questionable. Like
Yeah.
it in the playoffs, it's been great so far, but I'm just like a little bit concerned if they can keep up with the Thunder's offensive firepower.
I hear that. I completely understand that. I mean,
Yeah,
especially like Shea, he came out in that series looking a little rough, not having his best shooting games. He settled in. I mean, the way he closed the series, phenomenal. He looked like the best player in the world again. So I'm not too concerned about him. However, one thing I do want to throw out there is and this is part of the reason I've been on Minnesota, especially as a matchup to OKC. You look at their defense, they got Gobert down there. They got Randall and Reed as size as well. They got McDaniels, arguably one of the best lengthy wing defenders in the league. Anthony Edwards, we know what he is on defense. Alexander Walker, his cousin. DiVincenzo. They got guys that can step up and guard and clog the paint. Um, but that doesn't mean Minnesota's going to win it. That doesn't mean Shea's going to get locked up. Absolutely not. I just think they do have a favorable matchup compared to the other teams in the West. Like the Nuggets, I mean, Christian Brown's a good defender. Even then, that's not very good. And then who's the rest? Murray, Westbrook, Porter.
Yeah.
Gordon's big.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think like the series gonna come down to like, Anthony Edwards. Just like, is he gonna be able to put the team on his back? Because I mean, if he's on and Randall's decent, like I think they win the game. So, and then like I feel like Mike Conley, like Jaden McDaniels, you know what you're gonna get from those guys. Maybe you'll get a crazy game out of McDaniels, but like I don't know. OKC's depth is definitely better, but they're both deep. So
Absolutely. Um, I think another thing that could be big in this series is are they going to sell out to stop Ant in the paint like they did to the Nuggets and they lived with shooters shooting and they couldn't knock down shots. They needed Jokic. Denver did. And OKC was like, nah, Jokic isn't beating us. We'll send four guys into the paint, three in the paint, another guy lurking. Let's see Michael Porter make some shots. Let's see Jamal Murray beat us. They were even down for Christian Brown to hit open shots. Are they going to be like, okay, Randall, hit outside shots. McDaniels hit outside shots. Conley, DiVincenzo hit outside shots. We're not losing to Ant as a slasher. We're going to put our best defender on Ant. We're going to bring pressure when he gets downhill. I think that's what they're going to do, OKC.
yeah, make everyone else beat them. Yeah,
Because
I
we've
agree with you.
seen Minnesota go cold from three. They still win games, but I mean, the Thunder are a different story than the Lakers and Warriors for sure, especially
Yeah,
defensively.
yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Let me see. What do we have on this game that we just watched? So OKC, I think I've mentioned, but their inexperience was shown early. Wallace, Dort, Chet, they were passing up open looks, and I was worried. I was like, man, I should have put money on Denver. Um, but that went away. Denver led the first quarter by like 10 for a lot of the period, but uh, then OKC kind of
Second
closed
quarter.
it. Yeah, and OKC kind of closed it. I think it was a 5 point lead after one, and then Jokic and Murray didn't play for 2 minutes. OKC went on a 13-0 run. Um, the non-Jokic and Murray minutes, that's where they lost the game. Uh, OKC, they went on a 13-0 run. Let me see. They won the quarter by 19. So what happened in that run? Strother turned it over twice. We weren't getting the Julian Strother game again.
Yeah,
Hartenstein took advantage of Jokic. He had three rebounds, not being on the floor. He had three rebounds in the first 2 minutes of the second quarter. Two of those were offensive boards that turned into second chance points for OKC. Um, at that time that Strother was out there turning the ball over twice, Watson and Westbrook were also out there. I don't know what Adelman was thinking. I guess you don't have too many options to work with. But I mean, at that point, you live with Jokic playing 40. I think he even may have gotten 45 minutes. Jokic couldn't step off the floor. I mean, how are you going to throw Strother, Watson, and Westbrook out there? That's terrible. And that's what lost
yeah,
them the game.
yeah. And they need a better Murray game. They need better from Michael Porter.
They were cool with losing to them. I mean, they said, no, Caruso, you're going to be on Jokic. We're going to have Chet down there. We're going to have Shea in there. We're going to have another guy lurking. But you're not going to beat us from the outside. So try your best.
Yeah. You think Porter played his last game in Denver?
If I'm a Denver fan, I really hope so because he was allergic to the net.
I
He
know
couldn't put the ball in the rim in the basket.
he just puts up too many inconsistent performances.
What was he 0 for 4 from 3 tonight?
Yeah.
He's brutal. He sucks.
I mean, look what he
He's
did in
injured.
the series.
Like I know it's probably gonna come out that he has a torn labrum or something, whatever, but man, I mean, I know what
Yeah,
I saw.
look at this. Porter only hit double digits. He had a 20-point game and a 10-point game, and the rest were all single digit performances.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
Five single digit performances in the playoffs. Like, need more from him.
Absolutely. This is a guy who's 6'10, a shooter. I mean, you need more from him, like you said. But I mean, I can't even blame it all on him. I mean, like I said, he's hurt. I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like we saw this last year too, you know?
Yeah,
It's
it's too
tough.
frequent.
But yeah, it was that 13-0 run without Jokic and Murray on the floor, and then they had a lead at that point, and all of a sudden they went on a 14-2 run late in that second quarter. J-Dub was huge in it. And OKC, they don't go on runs by hitting shots and knocking down a bunch of threes. No, they cause turmoil in the defensive end. They get the ball, they get points off turnovers, and that's exactly what it was tonight, and that's what it's been all season. This is one of the best defenses of all time, at least in comparison to the other teams in the league at the time. Um, I mean, like this defense is something. This is something.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, we'll see how they do against the like Timberwolves, where like I don't know, Jokic and Gobert, they're kind of similar bodies, but I feel like Gobert DPOY. I don't know. We'll see. See if it's any different.
Absolutely. Let me see what else did I have from that game. Yeah, at half, Denver was 15 of 40 from the field. That's 37%. They had turned the ball over 12 times. OKC only three. OKC had 12 points off turnovers, Denver only zero. Points in the paint, 40 to 20, Oklahoma City in that first half. Yeah, it was
You want to move
brutal.
it to the East?
Let's go.
All right. So, uh, we didn't did we recap the last Celtics game? I don't think we did, right?
I don't think we did.
Yeah, they went down early. They just, yeah, it wasn't even close. It was a
Jaylen
Northern
Brown,
party.
Jaylen Brown disappointing, but I can't blame it all on him, especially with the news that he was playing with a torn meniscus, partially at least.
Yeah.
Um, but dude, 7 turnovers. I can blame that on you. Even with the
He had
even with the
six in the
injury.
first half.
Man. And the first half numbers are what really matters because the game was over at halftime. Let's see. Holiday was 1 for 8 in the first half. White, I know he hit two threes timely in the third quarter, but he was 1 for 7 in the first half. Porzingis was 1 for 4 in the first half. Pritchard was 0 for 3. Hauser was 0 for 2. Luke Cornett and Al Horford were the only guys who came to play. And Jalen, he had a good first quarter, but only got us so much, right? Six turnovers.
Yeah. Like White wasn't great either. Um,
Miles McBride looked like Michael Jordan.
yeah, Sam Hauser didn't give you anything. Another Kristaps nothing game. So, Celtics got a lot of questions this summer.
Yeah. It's early to get in. I don't even think it's early to get into this conversation, but I don't fully have an opinion on all this. But just to start, if we can get rid of Holiday, I'd love to right now. Um, whichever way we're gonna go next year. Holiday, I'd love to see out, and it's not even his fault. I mean, the age, we paid him, but he's got to go. He's not. He doesn't belong here anymore for this type of money. 30 million a year.
Yeah, I feel like we knew when we signed him that was going to be a bad deal on the back end.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I was vocal about it, honestly. A lot of people were like, "You had to do it." No, man. No.
Yeah,
No. Why did we do that?
yeah, I don't know. The Yeah, I mean, guys, championship, so can't
It
really
did.
complain too much.
It did. Like, oh man, it's so tough though. Because we paid him this year, right? We paid him before this playoff. It wasn't last year,
Yeah, it was like
correct?
2 years ago.
Well, we gave him that 4 year or 3 year extension a few months ago, or was that a year ago?
No, I think that was like a year ago, or
Okay.
maybe two. That maybe that was before when he first signed here.
It was mid, I don't think so.
Maybe he was in the middle of the season last year. I don't know.
It was pre-playoffs, either this year or last year. It was probably last year.
Yeah, it might
I
have
don't
been
know why. It
last.
just feels so recent. But regardless, what can we get for him? Are we gonna have to attach a pick just to get rid of his salary?
Yeah, we have him for 3 more years. So this season, the season after that, so all the way till the 2027, 2028, and he keeps making more money. So he makes 30 million this year. This past season, he makes 32.5 next year. makes 35 the next year, and then he makes 37 his final season.
Man, that's
Which,
bad.
yeah,
What
the
are we gonna
Celtics, man, they're paying a lot. So
do you have any teams in mind that would want Drew Holiday, or is it gonna be more of a thing where we have to attach a pick to just dump his contract?
yeah, I think we're gonna have to attach something.
That's horrible. That's a horrible position to be in. I'll ask you
Yeah.
this. Do you
There's not enough teams to uh like there's not enough teams available to accept that sort of money either. The only team
mm,
that has money to accept that just straight up for picks is the Brooklyn Nets. And like I don't know why Brooklyn Nets would kind of want to do that even. Like it kind of they get better. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like so when you trade that contract, it's probably going to have to be for a player that's like half that salary or like you know what I mean? So it's like someone on a Marcus Smart type contract. Not saying him, but you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's not even going to be like you're getting off that money entirely. You're just looking to kind of downgrade, which like you're probably not going to get as good a player and it's he's going to be making like decent money still.
Which is like why, which leaves you to the point where it's like, why even trade him? But I really think we have to get rid of him. I really do. I don't see any benefit in keeping him. He's not
Yeah.
some horrible player, but he's 35 on a 3-year deal. His value is only going to go down the way he fell off from last year to this. I
Yeah.
mean, right?
Do you see the Celtics interviewed Flag?
Yes, I did. And honestly, I thought about it. I was like, could we make a trade? Nah.
The only way that ever happens, I think, is if Jaylen Brown goes in that deal.
And even then, we'd have to give more, right? Especially with the money he's making.
Yeah, we'd probably have to give like a pick or two. I don't know.
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Would you do it if you're a Dallas fan? I don't know. Tell us. Like,
No, no.
would you no, like would you add Jaylen Brown to that squad? And then that's probably like a you'd say that's like at least a second round team
Yeah,
playoffs.
I mean, I think if you have Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, Anthony Davis, Gafford Lively, Clay, Najee Marshall, PJ Washington, that's the best team in the West. If
Yeah,
Kyrie comes
I don't
back
think
by February.
they don't have PJ anymore, do they?
No, they do. They have him
Oh,
for
okay.
another year. But
All
that's the
right.
best. If Kyrie comes back by like February, that's the best team in the West. That's the
Yeah.
best defense in the West with Jalen, AD, Gafford, Lively, Clay, PJ. And then you
Like
have
if you're Dallas,
Kyrie
would you rather that or would you rather like Cooper Flag, who's a rookie and he could be great and he's gonna be great, but it could be 2 or 3 years until you see that greatness. I mean, you'll probably see flashes of it, but you know what I mean? Like you're looking to contend now with Clay, KD, and Kyrie, or sorry, Clay, AD, and Kyrie, and
and PJ and all the
those
rest of the
guys are all
guys.
getting older by
Right.
the
Because
day.
it's a championship roster right now. And I see what you're saying. I completely see what you're saying. But one, I don't know if they'd be able to make the money work. I could be wrong, but I don't know if they'd be able to add Jalen for Cooper Flag's contract. And also, I just don't think you can pass up on that generational of a talent in Cooper Flag, especially when Nico Harrison's the GM and Cooper Flag plays the defense he does. I completely get what you're saying. Um,
Yeah,
you could win a championship, but I just don't know. I don't know. And I also don't know if you can make the money work
yeah, yeah. Who knows with the money? So,
because the
but
dude's making so much money.
yeah,
Y-
and then you add him with those other guys.
Yo, I want to take this off topic real quick a little bit. Not too off topic because it's the Celtics, but
Yeah,
so you look at the best players in the league, right? Jokic, and he has that Robin and Murray who complements him perfectly. You look at Giannis, he had Middleton and Holiday, perfectly complementary. Um, LeBron, you gave him, I don't know, actually not LeBron, but you get the point. Tatum and Brown, they're not complimentary. It's kind of like my turn ball, and we won a championship. We had all that talent, so we won a championship. I just don't know. I'd love to trade Jalen while he's 28 years old, get off that money, get some really, really good value, lose next year, get a good draft pick, and then come back and just reset the window around Tatum.
Yeah,
And
you
that
kind of
gets you,
reset the salaries.
yeah, and that gets you off Porzingis's contract. Trade White while you're at it. Um, I know that's a really tough pill to swallow, but he's turning 31. And if we
Yeah.
take the L next year, get a draft pick, trade Jalen and White, get off the Porzingis contract, and all of a sudden Tatum comes back. We've got all the money in the world, we've got all the assets in the world, and the only contract we're left to worry about is Drew Holiday, and we're probably able to just attach a pick to get rid of him. That's
Yeah.
my ideal Celtic situation. I know it's so unrealistic, but it's ideal to me.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many ways they could go, so it's like really interesting. Like I don't know. I haven't really made up my mind of like which way I want them to go. I think I want Porzingis gone though. Like just availability.
Right. I
We
completely
need
agree.
reliable.
My only thing with that is Porzingis only has 1 year on his deal left. We're probably not going to win next year anyway. Let's definitely get rid of Drew. Maybe get rid of Jalen. I don't know. I agree. I'm on the same page as you where it's like I haven't made my mind up yet. However, that's only in a realistic kind of scenario because I know what I want. I know what I want unrealistically. I want Jalen gone at 28 years old, and I want to get a complimentary piece to Tatum because I don't think they're complimentary to each other. And at 28 years old, you get off all that money and you get all these assets. I mean, we're talking about Jalen Brown. We're talking about at least 15 teams being extremely interested and willing to give up 4 to 5 first round picks. Mikal Bridges went for 5. Sure, they weren't high end first round picks, but there were 5 first round picks.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Brown, we could get a lot at 28 years old and get off that money. And we take the L next year. Porzingis' contract gone. You know,
Yeah. I don't know.
I know that's unrealistic, but that's what I want.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, unrealistic has become realistic, so who knows?
Right? New
Yeah.
owners, new owners that want to get off of money. I mean, Jalen Brown's 28 years old. We
Yeah.
can get a lot at 30, 31, 3 years, 4 years removed off of a championship. He was finals MVP last year.
I mean, I'm sure someone would come knocking. I'm sure the Pelicans would trade you all their picks or whoever, someone who had all their picks.
Who's a realistic complementary option to Tatum? I mean, because I think of a center, and I've thrown out Embiid so often, but that's no. He's too old. He's too injured. No, I've given up on that. But you look at the rest of the league. I feel like the Rockets would
Zion?
give us. He is, but again, I was gonna say it, but I was kind
Uh-huh.
of holding back because of the injury thing. It
Yeah.
is. But somebody that Tatum can run pick and rolls with. I mean, Tatum and Brown, like obviously the defense, that's a great advantage, but offensively, it's kind of my turn ball. Um, do we look at do the Cavs, would they give up Evan Mobley?
No.
No,
Not
they
even,
wouldn't.
not, no.
No, you're right. You're so right. Um, looking around the league,
Giannis, bro.
I agree with you.
That
I
was
agree
so
with you.
money.
I agree with you.
Tatum and Giannis.
It's just the age. It's just the age, but I'm with you. And obvious, or also, I think the biggest thing about Dame and Giannis weren't working because Dame's stats were still pretty good. Giannis wasn't going to turn it into this pick and roll guy. He wanted the ball in his hands, and Dame's not an off-ball guy. Do you think Giannis would be willing to come in and play that role guy, or does Giannis want to go somewhere and, put up 30?
I don't know. I think like it would help free Tatum up a little bit more because they'd have to send doubles at Giannis and then like you know what I mean? Like if they can't stop Giannis, Giannis can just kick it out to Tatum and I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Like
I agree with you. I agree with you.
would you rather have the other guy making moves be Jaylen Brown or Giannis? Like if you're saying that Jaylen Brown plays that they don't really gel, you know what I mean? Like then they're playing his turn, my turn. Like why can't you swap Brown for Giannis?
I agree. No, I completely agree. It's just, is Giannis willing? Because I saw what happened last year. Giannis wanted the ball in his hands. And again, I agree with you. I'm just, let me look around the rest of the league. Whoa. San Antonio, Dylan Harper.
Yeah, I like it.
Just an idea. You look at Portland, I don't know if there's anything there. Probably not.
Maybe Toronto,
Toronto, Scotty Barnes. I mean,
RJ Barrett. I don't know.
do you want
Those
RJ
guys are
Barrett?
max money though.
Yeah, and I don't really want RJ Barrett even not on a max contract
Yeah.
unless he's coming off the bench making less money. Um, I mean, nah, Steph Curry's too old. That's stupid. He's too old. But I mean, can you, especially with the year, it's kind of a that's another thing about Giannis is it's probably not going to be for next year. It's probably for 2 years and on. We're looking to reset the window.
What
We,
about what about Phoenix?
I'll take Booker, man. I'll take Booker. He's making less money than Jalen, I think, just because he got paid earlier. Booker is 28 years old, about to turn 29. They're the same age. They're both 28, and Jalen turns 29. Um,
Yo, as much as Miami wouldn't want to do it, like Tyler Hero, Bam,
I think Miami would love to do that.
one or the
I
other.
mean, I I don't know if it's worth
Maybe
it.
I'd love to do Bam.
I would too, but is that worth it?
Yeah, for the amount you're probably giving up, you're probably just gonna give up. You're worth picking up the phone for Giannis.
Yo,
Um,
do Booker and Tatum complement each other though?
or like Jaren Jackson, maybe.
Yeah,
Booker and Tatum, yeah, 100%.
you think?
Yeah.
They're not just playing off,
No, I think you could get Tatum to pick and roll with him. That would be awesome.
right?
Pick and pop, especially.
Mm-hmm. Right. I meant Thompson, Rockets wouldn't give him up for Jalen, right?
No, I
I
don't think
complete
so.
I completely agree with you there. I've seen some people say it.
Yo, Memphis, bro. I feel like Jaren Jackson. I mean, they probably would not trade him though.
I think the just where Memphis is right now, maybe they'd be willing to. I just look that I completely agree that's the perfect fit, especially age and everything, and we wouldn't have to pay him what Memphis can. But is Jaren Jackson very good or not? Like, is he low key just not very good? He's very talented, but is he low key just not good?
I I think he's good.
You get
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
saying, though?
I feel like he's just not like set up for success with the guys he's playing with.
That's true.
I feel like he's being asked to do too much. Or like he can be that third guy, but like they need a better second guy behind John with Bane. You know what I mean? He can't be the second guy. I feel like he's good defensively, you know what I mean? But like you can't ask him to be your second guy offensively and your anchor defensively. I
Yeah.
feel like that's a lot. And he plays a ton of minutes. He's been injured before. Like I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm just looking, and I don't see many better options. I don't see that many options because we're not going to go get Cade Cunningham. We're just not going to be able to. We're not going to be able to get Tyrese Halliburton. We're not going to be like
Like you're gonna
Giannis.
have it's gonna be a downgrade for a
Yeah,
second option.
that's the thing. And like I'd be all in on Giannis, but
Like it
especially
would
when
be
we're
like
t
a Kuzma type level player. You know,
oh, and
someone
that's
in that money range.
I I'm not with that. I'm not with that. I'm looking at the best options.
What
It
about
would
like a Bruce Brown?
like
Like that's like you
no.
have to swap Drew Holiday for Bruce Brown, something like
Oh,
that.
I'd do that. I was talking about Jalen. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
trade Holiday for Bruce Brown. I was actually talking about that last night with my brother. I
Yeah.
do it with the age, and Bruce Brown's contract is expiring
Yeah.
next year.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking around, and I think Dylan Harper's my favorite option, just because like a Cunningham or a Halliburton's so unrealistic. I don't think Darius Garland. I don't think the Cavs can afford to get Jalen Brown. Um, and then what else is it? It's Booker. I don't know. You know, it's tough. It's tough. I've been thinking about this series. It's tough. It's tough. Like I know who I'd want as a one option, like late in the game. It's Jalen Brunson over Halliburton. But the Pacers can definitely pull this series out.
Yeah. And the Pacers have been playing differently. Like this last quarter of the season, last third of the season than they had previously. So like I think it's completely different and like it's kind of similar to last year's playoff where everyone's talking about the Knicks, the Knicks, the Knicks. And I feel like people are kind of just sleeping on the Pacers and like not giving Tyrese Halliburton enough credit. I feel like they're just kind of lurking again, and I feel like they're waiting to break out. And I don't know, this New York team, we weren't sold on them at the start. I think it's bound to kind of come home at some point. Like it's not, I don't know, OG and McCall haven't been awesome. You know what I mean? They've been good at some games, but they need to be more consistent. And I don't know,
Right.
maybe they get to the finals, but I think the Western Conference is winning this regardless. But um, I don't know. I think this is a closer matchup than people think.
Yeah. Um, it's definitely a close matchup. That's why I'm so torn. Knicks have home court advantage. I think the Knicks have better talent, high-end talent at least. But back to what you were saying about Bridges and OG. They've given you really good games. Like Bridges looks like Kobe some games. OG locks up on defense and sometimes he'll have a good shooting night. But a lot of nights you're getting OG stinkers. Some nights you're getting Bridges stinkers. Cat hasn't been what he was in the regular season. And they're still in the conference finals, but still, I mean, the point still stands true. What are you going to get from these guys? And the Pacers, it just feels like no matter what, Siakam, Nembhard, Nesmith, Turner, Halliburton, these guys are going to give you good nights most of the time, no matter what. And the Knicks aren't some special defense. They played a lot more physical. But even then, the Pacers like to run. They like to play in open space and transition. Um, and they're a perimeter shooting team.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is such a tough matchup. And a lot of people are saying, oh, this is a terrible series. This is bad for the sport. We want Celtics. We want Cavs, whatever. What? Like I like this series. Obviously, it's not crazy exciting, obviously, but we have no clue what's gonna happen. We have no
Yeah.
clue,
This is like a rematch of last year. Pacers beat them last year, even though it was a completely different team. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Rick Carlisle, he'll find a way. These games, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these games are blowouts. Like, you know what I mean? Like Pacers win a game by like 30 points and then the next win by like 25. You know what I mean? Like
dang, dude.
I, I, I'd be surprised if we see like every game be close. I only expect maybe a few games to come down the wire, one or two. Like I think the rest, like whoever shoots better is going to win, I think. Because
Right,
like Pacers especially, like if the Pacers shoot well, I don't think anyone can beat them. Like they can put up like 140 points like that if everyone's clicking. So I
right.
don't know.
Let's see how they played against the Cavs. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these were blowouts, a lot of them. Um, man, this is so tough. Let me.
I think it comes down to Miles Turner, the series. I
I think
mean,
it. My bad.
sorry, yeah.
No, no,
I
you're
mean,
good.
I think it comes down to him if he can knock down the three ball, do what he was doing last series. I mean, that's like that's another star they have. Like where like I mean, he's been consistent. He did that last year's playoffs. He's been doing it this year's playoffs. So I'd kind of expect him to do it again.
Okay. I think it's going to come down to OG and Bridges. Because especially Bridges, because OG is probably going to give you some stinkers offensively. But Bridges, I mean, we saw what he did in game five of that Celtics series, game five, right? Game four
Yeah.
of that Celtics series, he looked like Kobe or Michael. It was insane. Like the fadeaway mid ranges, he's knocking down threes. What is he going to give you that again? Is he? Because sometimes he is, sometimes he just it sucks and it's offensively because they're beasts defensively. But what's Bridges going to give you offensively? Do the Knicks have that second creator, or are they cooked? That's what it is for me. It's Bridges.
Yeah.
I
And
believe in most of the Pacers shooters and players. I've seen the story,
do you
but
think the Pacers' depth, like at this point in the playoffs helps? Like you're in the third round. Starters have been playing like 40 plus minutes every game, even though they'll be rested coming into the series. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just wear and tear where Pacers can go 10 deep where the Knicks maybe go two, three deep off the bench.
Absolutely. Like the Knicks, they only have McBride and Robinson to really believe in, Payne and Precious, whatever. Like McConnell, Mathurin, and Toppin, especially against this Knicks team that Tibbs loves to play his starters like 40 minutes. McConnell can come in and run an offense. Mathurin can come in and score some buckets. Toppin can come in, throw down some lobs, get some rebounds, hit some threes. And then you got Ben Shepherd who can come in and hit a three. Um, Jarris Walker, I'm not too worried about him. But yeah, I think
I'm looking
especially against a Knicks team where Tibbs loves to play these guys 40 minutes, the Pacers' depth can definitely help.
Pacers throughout the playoffs have played in every game, have played 11 players. So they just, whoever's feeling it that night, whoever's playing well, whoever's, I don't know, whoever just good things are happening to, they seem to go with, like between Obi Toppin, Ben Shepherd, Mathurin, TJ McConnell, like Thomas Bryant, like, so I don't know. I think like that could come in handy when these Knicks players with Tibbs run them into the ground through the regular season. Like they're gonna run out of gas at some point, and like I don't know, I not OG. I'm not really worried about him. You know what I mean? But Brunson, man, he takes a beating. So
Yeah, totally. I think Rick Carlisle is a very smart coach who can really use that depth to his advantage too. Um, but yeah, another big part of the series too is like, are the Pacers going to hit shots? You know, like I just do you believe in it to happen again? Because it's happened so far, but they do have nights, they do have quarters where they go one if they do go 1 for 8 from three. They're not perfect.
yeah, I don't know. I just like how like everybody's not talking about the Pacers. Like everybody's just shooing the Knicks into the finals. I really like the underdog story that's coming
Absolutely.
through in here.
I am not showing the Knicks into the finals. I don't like when people do that. I'm like, really? You're gonna sleep on the Pacers again because nobody else thought they were beating the Cavs. Like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know. I'm definitely gonna have better insight on this one tomorrow. Like, just because it's such a tough series. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I'm narrowing it down to Bridges. I'm narrowing it down to how the Pacers shoot. Um, I'm narrowing it down. Another part of this could be: are the Knicks going to stay healthy? Is somebody going to run out of is somebody going to run out of gas, like you said? Is Brunson like he's already dealt with some ankle stuff these playoffs, and obviously he's been amazing, especially in fourth quarters when they need him the most. But like we saw it last year, like Tibbs loves to play these guys 40 minutes, and even late into games. I mean, game six, they were up 30. Guys are playing in the fourth quarter. Did he not learn his lesson when Derrick Rose ruined his career?
yeah,
Like I feel like some of the writing's on the wall that like I mean Brunson's already dealt with it last year, everything. Like are they gonna stay healthy? Is Brunson gonna be able to make it through? Are all these guys gonna be able to make it through?
yeah. I don't know. That's like a big. We'll see at this point. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I mean, I don't. I think I don't know. I like you said. Like I gotta wait till tomorrow. Like I gotta think about this one a little bit more because I don't know. Bronson could just go crazy and yeah. So who knows?
It's so
But
tough. We can't predict how the Pacers are gonna shoot,
the Knicks have had some stupid, crazy performances, and also then the Pacers have just pulled some games out that they have no business winning. They've pulled out like two or three wins that like they shouldn't have had. So
absolutely. And you brought up a really good point that the Knicks, like they were up 20 in games one and two, or down the Knicks were down 20 in games one and two against the Celtics. Like they're not some perfect crazy team that blew out everybody. No,
yeah. Yeah, and that's got to worry you if you're the Pacers because you're a team that can get up big and early. The way you shoot the ball and
right?
like go up big 20
And
points
e-
early, you got to
and
be like, all right, we aren't can't blow this.
right, and even for me, it worries me about the Knicks because they weren't a team. They were a team that took a lot of Celtics just bad shooting luck and just injuries. Like they got really lucky. The Pistons took them to six, almost seven. They're not some perfect team, but the Pacers are the Pacers, and that kind of makes me start to lean towards the Pacers.
Yeah. So
But
I
yeah,
don't know.
I
Imagine if
don't
the Pacers end up in the finals, that'd be crazy.
right, and they're one series away against a team that nobody thought was also going to be here, so they could definitely make it. I don't have
Yeah.
too much else to say on this series. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think we're gonna have some better insight tomorrow because I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Like I know kind of storylines about the series, but I don't know which way to go. I don't know which way my head wants to go. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of with you there. Like, like I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks won in five or Pacers won in six. I think if the Pacers win though, it'll be definitely like a closer, like it'll be like a 6 or 7 game series. Where if the Knicks win, they might be a little bit more decidingly. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know though.
Totally, but I think the series goes to a minimum 6 games. I think both series are going to go to a minimum 6 games just because both teams are so good, so respectable. The Pacers are going to hit shots at least in 2 games. The Knicks are going to at least win 2 games. And
Yeah,
then on the other side of the bracket, the Wolves, I don't see them dropping 2 games, but I also don't see the Thunder dropping 2 games.
yeah,
I think both of these series are going to go not maybe not the distance, but at least a 6. Probably the distance.
yeah. And like we said, I don't think home court matters at any of these games.
No. I mean, you don't.
Maybe like OKC, maybe MSG. I don't know, but like I feel like any of these teams can lose at home.
That's the thing. Also, another thing I don't think we mentioned is that Minnesota came out in that Warriors series and laid an egg in game 1, especially surprising because of the fact that the Warriors played a game 7. The Wolves only went to 5. The Warriors had a really quick turnaround. People were penciling in the Wolves game 1 money line because the amount of rest. And now they're rested and the Thunder aren't. Like, and it's in no, it's in Oklahoma City. I'm stupid. But you know what I'm saying? Like they are rested, but they could definitely just drop game 1 like they did last series.
Yeah, you see the you see the Pacers fan who got beat up, bro.
No,
Dude, there's a video online of like a guy wearing a Halliburton jersey, like walking outside MSG, and like a bunch of Knicks fans just started beating him up.
that's so messed up. But that's also so stupid to do. Like, why would you do
Oh, why are
that?
you? Yeah, you're kind of asking for it, bro.
Yeah. Like, obviously that's a horrible thing to do, but it's even stupider to wear a tie. Halliburton's like the most cringy and hated player in the league. Like, that's even more reason.
Yo, look at this. Ready? I'm reading the last NBA championships from the 4 teams in the conference finals. The Knicks was in 1973, and then the rest haven't won. So it would be the first like championship in 50 years for all these teams.
Wow.
Like, yeah,
And that's awesome, man. The state of the NBA, the parity, you don't know what's going to
yeah.
happen. I mean, going into the playoffs, the Celtics and Cavs were being scribbled into the conference final. Um, I was never
Even
willing
the
to,
Lakers in the finals.
right? Like, we know
Yeah,
where
the
that went.
Warriors. I don't know.
Like, it's so nice that we can't predict this stuff. Like, it's fun to predict and get it right, but it's kind of nice that, like, nobody's right. Like, all the YouTubers, all the podcasters I watch, everybody had who did they have? Everybody had the Cavs. I was never that high on the Cavs, but everybody was. Everybody was, and for great reason. For great
Yeah, the Cavs
reason.
or the Celtics.
Yes. Yes. And always hindsight's 2020. You can say, oh, well, the Celtics were bound to miss shots and get injured. Oh, well, the Cavs hadn't been there. You look at those net ratings and those records all season. All
Yeah,
season,
they don't lie,
right?
but sometimes,
But you can't predict it now. And it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
yeah. And the rules are set up for all these small market teams like Minnesota, Indiana, and Oklahoma City, who would never really attract major free agents. It's all set up for these guys to succeed. So
Right?
it just shows you what good management does, and few things break your way. So
Sam Presti, baby.
yeah,
Any other takeaways from these from up to this point in the playoffs? I'm trying to look.
not really.
Um, a big thing is the Celtics trades too. Like this Knicks Pacers series and the Celtics trade thing. Y- Like I'm just not ready to make up my mind. It's
Yeah,
tough. Um, Looking through the rotations real quick that we have left, the Timberwolves are probably going to go 8 deep. Um, the Thunder are going to go they're 9, maybe even 10. Isaiah Joe hasn't played. The
I know it's
Pacers
kind of crazy.
right? The Pacers go eight deep, really, but they go deep. They go 10, 11 with Shepherd, Bryant, and Jarvis Walker. And then the Knicks, they really go seven, but they have nine. Payne and Precious. I don't know. Like, is depth gonna come through? Is it gonna be OKC, Indiana? I don't know. I have no clue. This is, but it's a good thing. That's a good thing,
Yeah. I know the NBA is definitely hoping it's New York. That's for sure.
right? I'd love to see an MSG finals, but I also have so much respect and love for the Pacers. Who doesn't?
Yeah. Imagine if the Knicks get to the finals and they like lose to like Minnesota. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Or like
Oh yeah.
OKC.
Right. I'm rooting for Minnesota, man. I like this Minnesota team. I like them.
Yo, what would you think of Minnesota and New York Knicks, the cat trade
That's what
coming
I
to the
want.
finals?
That's what I want. It's
Yeah.
exactly what I want.
That would be like must see TV. That would be like every everything's just coming full circle, you know?
Right? Do you think Minnesota wins that series relatively easy? Or is that kind of a stupid thing to say? Because I haven't thought too much.
Uh no, I wouldn't say easily, but
Six maybe. I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know. I
six.
haven't I haven't thought into this series that might not even happen. Probably not even gonna happen. No nods. Um, one more question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I actually want to give some props to Tom Thibodeau, real quick because like the way they won that series last series after the Pistons series, they found out we have to play physical, and that was never the way they played. Another thing, cat switching rather than dropping like they did in the regular season, huge adjustment. Those were two
Yeah.
big those were two big adjustments. They shut down Jalen. They always knew when to switch. They always knew when to bring pressure onto Jalen. Um, Normally his issue is he plays guys too much. We've talked about that, but it's worked so far this year. And then credit to Brunson. He gave the Knicks when what they needed when they needed it.
Yo, you ready for this stat? So the last time the Knicks made the Eastern Conference Finals, Jalen Brunson was 3 years old, and his father, Rick Brunson, played on the team in the Eastern Conference Finals. And that team lost to the Pacers in six.
Whoa. Whoa. Wow.
That is awesome.
That was the
We're in
last
the
time the Knicks
conference
what? Were in the
finals,
con Wow. Wow.
2000.
Hmm. Whoo. I don't know what to make of that, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You
See
could
if
make some.
Jalen can avenge his father.
Right. Jalen Brunson, that dude's a dog. I mean, he's so unique in that everybody else that's a superstar in this league, like is just athletically gifted or is big or something. This dude's 6 foot tall, even probably. Not an athlete. I mean, an athlete, but
He's
not
not the
super athletic.
fastest.
Not the fastest. Doesn't jump. None of this. Like, he's just incredibly, incredibly witty and smart and just really, really a good basketball player.
Yeah, knows how to use his body positioning and just, yeah, super smart.
Right? He could be in the post as a 6 foot guard. Like, all right.
Yeah,
Um,
like he makes Derek White look like a bad defender in the post with them, where it's like Derek White, that's one of the best defenders in the league. So,
right. It's
yeah,
crazy. It's crazy. That dude's insane. Like, can't think of another player like him. Um, like Trey Young, he's not big or athletic, but he has superstar shooting and playmaking. Brunson, not necessarily.
yeah,
But I did want to ask you this question, and you don't have to have an answer for this. It's something we've kind of already talked about, but it's a different question. Could
yeah.
someone look to make one move to win a championship next year and take on Porzingis in his 1 year deal, lay him out next year, manage him, and I'm talking a team that really wants to win a championship next year.
Gotta like look at the teams.
Yeah, definitely. Like, get up with the standings, put the Rockets. I don't think they're ready for a championship next year.
No.
The Lakers, like maybe,
Maybe the Lakers, yeah.
right? I don't see any like maybe the Warriors if they can
Yeah,
get him
maybe.
for like kind of cheap. Like I don't know. I was gonna say something about Kuminga, but
I
that's
can't
probably
really see him going to the a lot of Eastern Conference teams, you know what I mean?
No,
Like maybe, I don't know. Yeah, man.
I don't know. I don't know. That,
I don't see
yeah,
a lot of people that would want him.
yeah, right.
Like they'd want him, but not, I don't know. Not they wouldn't want to give up a lot to get him.
Especially in a 1 year rental.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna have to be a team really close to a championship in just like one first round pick or something. And that first round pick's not gonna be too valuable. The
Yeah.
Lakers,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see anybody else.
Yeah, for real, dude.
So I don't know. But I also don't mind playing him out for one more year when we're probably not going to win next year. I'm more concerned about Holiday, but we talked about that. We're going to talk about that all summer, all month, in the next 2 months. It's going to be interesting.
We'll have a
But
lot of time. I'm
yeah,
sure we'll have some new developments too.
absolutely. Super excited.